Hi, this is Brandy from giftedresources.com. I am on a journey, as many of us are, all of us are, as a woman, as an educator, as a business owner, as a human being, as a parent, all of those things. And I've decided that I'm going to press record and share this journey and inspire others, talk about how others are inspiring me, talk about how this business is unfolding, what I'm learning along the way, talk about what parents are sharing with me, what I'm sharing with parents, and the things that I'm learning as I step through each day. And if that sounds like something that might be interesting to you, please, I'm building my channel, subscribe, watch these videos. If there's anyone that you know that might be interested in some intentional parenting advice, working with gifted kids, but not just gifted kids, because the strategies that I share, they will help all children. It's just about being an intentional parent who wants to transform the lives of your own children and your own life as well, as a learner and as somebody who is developing and transforming yourself. So one of the habits that I just started, probably about maybe 3 months ago, has been really powerful to me. And it's been powerful as a business owner, as a woman, as a parent, and it's called Morning Pages, and it came from a book called The Artist's Way. I don't know about you, but I had to pull them out. I've got a chest back there that my grandfather he gave it to all of us, my cousins and I. We all got one on Christmas one year, and that's where I keep these, all of my diaries, all of my thoughts growing up from teenage years through college years, and then now I'm starting to do it again, and it's called Morning Pages. And Morning Pages is a conscious stream of thought. And basically what it is it's just getting what's inside your head in the mornings out on paper. And there's a few tiny little rules that go along with it, but truly it's been transformational for me as a woman, because I get what's inside here out on paper, and then I can look for patterns. And I don't censor, so you want to make sure that you're not like being very careful with your words. You're just free writing. You're getting all of it out. And I told you there were a few little rules. So one of the rules is 3 pages. And you can decide if you want to do 3 pages or not, but that's one of the suggestions that they have. It's about 30 minutes. Personally, I don't write. So what I do is I use something called Google Keep, and it is a tool that I have here. It's an app I have here on my phone, and I use voice typing. And so I just press the microphone and I talk. And I talk for about 20 minutes, which isn't hard. And I just share my thoughts, kind of what's going on in my life as a parent, as a wife, as a business owner, things I want to remember, things that touched me, things that hurt me, things that I'm joyful about. All of the things go inside of these morning pages. And it's interesting what comes out, the patterns that I'm learning, the things that I'm learning about myself. It's been great. It's a great habit, and I'm hoping that all of you will have an opportunity to do it. And that's the one that I want to talk about today, and why I think that this would be something that's beneficial to you as you're looking to make that transformation. So it is part of my morning routine. You do have to get up just a little bit earlier in order to do it, but really, making that time to do morning pages so that you can see that transformation is really, really powerful. First of all, get the right tools. And so you can decide if you want to do it in Google Keep or in Microsoft Word. There's a voice typing option in there as well. You could do it in a Google Doc. There's voice typing in there as well. Or a lot of people just get a Moleskine and a really nice pen, and they just open up their pages and they just begin to write. Again, it's that stream of consciousness where you're getting everything out of your head and onto paper. And it doesn't have to be full sentences. It can be thoughts, it can be bullets, it can be pictures, it can be anything. It's that free write. It's something as educators we explain to our kids, we want you just to get what's in here out. And know that it's not something that you're going to share with anybody. Because once you think that it might be shared, then it becomes edited or censored in your mind, and you don't want to censor it at all. For some people who do morning pages, that means that it's written down on a piece of copy paper or a piece of lined paper, and then it goes through the shredder. so no one will ever see it. So if you have a nosy roommate, or you're afraid your kids are going to see it, or whatever that is, do it that way. You can password protect it if you put it inside of your computer and you do want to keep it. Just make sure though that you don't censor it, because you want to make sure that it is your conscious stream of thought, because you will begin to see patterns. And I'm seeing patterns in my own of decisions that I've made, mostly positive, and I see it every time part of the work that I do is in the local school district. And every time that I am driving to the schools, I'm talking about how excited I am that I made that leap, that I decided to go into the schools and work with teachers and work with students. And for me personally, one theme that I see that continues to come out is I'm driving down roads that I drove down as a child. I'm walking into buildings that I went into as a child, and I'm saying, wow, I had to go out and fly. I had to travel. I had to do all of these things. I had to get a certain level of education. I had to do the things in order to come back and give back to the community where I live now. And I can see that progression. I can see the milestones looking back, the steps that I took, the decisions that I made to get to where I am today. And those reflections, those come out in my morning pages. And as I'm crossing over the Little Spokane and looking at the church where I grew up in, I'm just so pleased with the direction that I've come and the fact that I'm able to give back. And I don't think that I would have that if I didn't have the think time. And I think for a lot of us, that's what's missing, that time that we actually get an opportunity to sit, to be with ourselves, to think, and to process. And sometimes it takes just, getting all of it out in order to process. Get the right tools. Make it a positive experience. So that might mean 30 minutes earlier. Make sure that you've got your teapot ready to go if you're a tea drinker, or coffee. You've got your favorite beverage in the morning. You've got your favorite pen. You've got the right lighting, the right atmosphere. For some people, that might be snuggled up in a blanket in the living room in front of the fireplace. For others, it might be outside on the front porch. For me, I'm in my car if I'm driving, or in my office. Sometimes in the springtime, I'm expecting to be out on the front porch and just writing, just speaking in and getting my thoughts out. And so also finding the place that inspires you. And so if you want to be inspired, find that space. Surround yourself with beauty. Surround yourself with things that make you happy, and make sure that there are no distractions. That piece of it is really important as well. Some people use Baroque music. The Baroque music has 60 beats per minute, and that's the same speed as your heartbeat. And so it's really relaxing to have that Baroque music or something playing in the background to get you ready to go. And I also wanted to share with you another tool that I use, and it's called Presently. And Presently is more of like a gratitude journal, if that's something that you're interested in. And maybe you want to make a first step before you step into magic. It's before you step into morning pages. It's called Presently, and it's a gratitude journal with no ads. And so just at the end of the day, it will remind you, what were you grateful for today? And you just write a few lines. Today I was grateful for, and then what was it you were grateful for? As a mom, as I'm doing morning pages, I'm noticing that I'm journaling the lives of my children, the lives of my relationship with my husband, my own life, and what I'm learning as, a business owner, as someone who's building a YouTube channel, as somebody who's working with children again after being, out of that field for a little while, all of those things. And it's just been interesting. One of the biggest takeaways that I've taken in working with gifted parents, and I will be sharing some stories without names, just some themes that I'm noticing. But one of the biggest themes that has come up lately is when I'm working with gifted parents, they're not interested in talking about academics. The academics are fine. They're interested in talking about the child, the whole child. They're interested in talking about the friendships or lack of friendships. They're interested in talking about how to help their child fit in. I was just on a phone call today, and the parents were just distraught at the last rope, thinking, I don't know what to do. Please help me. What can I do to help this little boy who needs to find friends and he can't. And he loves math, but he just for the life of him, he can't make friends in his school. And so we talked about that. We processed through that, and we looked at the fact that yes, he loves math. No, he's not coordinated, not something that he would like to do. Mom and dad, especially dad, are really involved in sports, like sports. And so we talked about taking this fifth grader and perhaps helping him to do some of the stats for the middle school games. We've got basketball season that's just wrapping up, and then baseball season, track and field season will be picking up. There'll be some little league that's happening. So you've got a kid here who's got a skill, and sitting on the bench, making friends and having a role and a job, that's what these kids want. They want to be included. So if you've got a child who isn't going to run the bases because they can't, or haven't learned how to ride their bike yet because they're not quite coordinated enough, how can they then include themselves in things that are happening at their school to make those friends? And this little boy just wanted to hang out with dad, his uncle, and his grandpa. And if he could take the three of them anywhere he would go, he would be happy as a clam. And so having dad next to him on the bench is going to be a really awesome opportunity for this little boy as then he begins to jump into that new realm of learning those emotional intelligence types of characteristics that are needed, which is really exciting. We also talked about joining a local jiu-jitsu group and having him become more aware of his body, gaining some confidence. He's not coordinated, but he's very flexible. So he's got a body for jiu-jitsu, just to help him to be in command of himself and gain some of that confidence. So those are all things that are just so important. And again, parents are coming to me, and it's not about the academics. It's about the whole child. It's about the social and emotional side of living. And it's just about being human. And that's what this time with you is going to be about, just about being human, sharing my journey as a human, what's happening that's great, what's happening that's not so great, sharing some stories that others have shared with me, and just continuing to inspire you as you walk along this planet and make a difference as well in the lives of your families, in the lives of the people that you work with, and leaving a legacy in your community and a legacy in this world. It has been a pleasure. It's been humbling to be able to take this journey with you, and I will be posting again soon. Please like this channel, like this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with people, and know that I'll be sharing out videos on a regular basis. You can expect 2 to 3 a week.